word yakim means in opposition to his falling down. Kam, I'm standing up. Shelo yokim. So no. The Yerushalmi learns, in the Yerushalmi the question understands that yokim means standing up, and opposite it means falling down.
But not yokim keeping.
No. No, 1 second. There's a couple of answers. Let's see the Yerushalmi's answers. There's machloikes amoiroim. They answer this question.
Before you said what Rashi said,
yes.
You said Rashi said means keeping the Torah.
Yes. But the Yerushalmi didn't know like that.
Didn't know like that.
Yes,
Not
yes.
Keeping, it goes
Yes.
physical up or down.
Yes. So let's see. Rabbi Shimon ben Yokim Oimer Zah Chazan. Goes on the Chazan. What does it mean? What does it mean, Chazan?
It gives droshes.
No. Chazan means that when we finish to read the Torah, they pick up the Torah and everybody says, Zois ha-Torah asher sa Moshe. According to the Yerushalmi, this is Bo Chasher Yokim. Yes, the Chazan does it for everyone. One does for all. One leader does it for whole congregation. So the source where we say, when we pick up the Torah, why everybody has to participate and talk? Let the Chazan pick up, and that's it. No, you have to stand up, you have to bend, and you have to say. What do you have to say? Zoi sa Torah asher sa Moshe. And some people say you don't put the left finger, you put the main finger. Why? According to Yerushalmi, this is what it means. Bo Chasher Yokim es ha-Torah. What it means Yokim? When the Chazan is making, you have to participate in that. And that's the Bo. You get a blessing.
Some people bend.
The Rabbeinu Yoino even adds to this. The Rabbeinu Yoino in the Geras HaTshuva, in the Geras HaYira, he writes down, it's brought down in the Ramah, that when you read the Torah, everybody has to stand up. Because the Chazan is saying the words of the Torah. And the words of the Torah is the words of Hashem. So as if Hashem is speaking from the words of the Torah through the mouth of the Chazan. So that's why when you read the Torah, everybody has to stand up. And the Ramah brings down that people should stand up and read the Torah. And he says, okay, people are weak. So because people are weak, they canceled it. But we had a couple of years ago, on Rosh Hashanah, we carried the Sefer Torah from here to Kever David to daven. And what happened? It fell down. And we made it takono that everybody should stand up. I also told Baruch Hashem stand up. He said, I'm weak, and I have the energy. I'm tired. I wake up, I stand up. What? I can't hear who's talking and who's speaking. Speak loud, the one is speaking. You're talking in here. Okay, good. Baruch Hashem. Baruch Hashem. But talk afterwards. You can talk as much as you want afterwards. So according to this, that's what means Chazan. Yokim es ha-Torah means, he's saying, Zois ha-Torah. You testifying there's a true Torah and you're accepting it. It's part of, it's including what Rashi is saying. But it's an act. It's not general acceptance that they accept them. It's a generation obligation. It's not a one-time deal in our Gizim and our Evo that we had to accept the Torah. It's a constant every Monday, Thursday, Shabbos afternoon, morning, is we say, we mekabel. Zoi sa Torah asher sa Moshe b'nei Israel. This is the Torah that Moshe Rabbeinu, we accepted it. And we mekayim, Yoki means the Chazan has to put it up, which means why the Torah wrote in the language of Yokim is not only Yekayim, is Yokim, you have to reinforce that Kabbalah every time we read the Torah in the synagogue.
Some people bend.
In the Beis Medrash. Some people bend. Says Zois ha-Torah. And bend, yes, I do that. Everybody does it. Bend. It's a big shiloh why people use the pinky. Some poiskas is wrong. You have to put it right. Chaim Kanevsky, what do you want to say?
I saw Sefer, I forget the name of the Sefer. He brings down why do they bring the pinky, because they want to show that it's not so. It's like when a person puts the finger, he's showing like very strong, like.
Chatzifus. You want to show you bend. You bend. We mevat ourselves to this. It's a svara. But some poiskim say no. But dafka it's by Our minhag is pinky. Yes.
My father told me Moshe Feinstein.
Right. The Moshe Feinstein said.
Chaim Kanevsky.
Chaim Kanevsky said it's wrong. Have to be. I know that. That's what I said. Chaim says the right, but our minhag is a pinky. So that's the two svaras here. But the ikir is the Yesoid is the Yerushalmi. What do you want to say?
If someone does like this, he does pinky and fingers, is that like, he's not doing both, or is this?
Follow your minhag. Your father has a minhag.
My father doesn't do the pinky, my father he does like just looks or finger.
Okay. Father has a minhag. Follow minhag. We have tradition. If you're about true, you follow your rabbis. What?
Moshe Feinstein.
No, I don't understand your English, sorry.
Okay.
No, me estoy viendo a mí, pero no entiendo en inglés, ahora con una papa en la boca.
Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta oimer, ze beizin shel maton. According to Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta, he says, what is the Yokim? It's the Beis Din. Beis Din needs to make sure that the Torah stands by telling people off, metaken takonos, judging people. So they're applying the Torah, so it doesn't go only on a private. According to the first opinion of Rabbi Shimon ben Yokim, goes on every generation. We have to every time read the Torah from Moshe Rabbeinu's takono, or from Ezra takono Monday and Thursday. Those takonos is we fulfill the Yokim. We have to reinforce and make him the Torah in our hearts every time when they read the Torah. And now we added, we have to even stand when we read the Torah, because it's Kabbalah Har Sinai, Mamad Har Sinai. Hashem is speaking, you have to stand up. According to Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta, is Beijing Shalmata.
How does Mishnah Berurah bring it?
Doesn't bring this.
It does. Mishnah Berurah.
Rabbi Shimon ben Chalafta?
No, Mishnah Berurah about standing up for the reading of the Torah.
Yeah.
It says,
It's a Ramah. It's a Ramah that says it. Mishnah Berurah brings down the Machlokes HaPoskim. If we're weak, because we're weak today, it's cancel or not. But if you're strong, what I do?
when I read it with my rabbi, the Mishnah Berurah,
Yes.
many years ago.
Yes.
I read it. It made much sense because the Mishnah says we should all stand up for the Mishnah Berurah, but some say that sitting down is okay. That's what I remember.
Because people are weak today.
But it says-
Okay, maybe Api Kabbalah holds to sit. But definitely the Rabbeinu Yoino, which is a Rishon, and other Rishonim say you have to stand.
The Sfarim said.
Okay, they have different give different svaras, like here, pinky, finger. The concept is, our tradition is to stand up. My father, when he was young, for all his young life, used to stand up. It was makpi to stand up. Makpi. So makpi, that's we follow many of our forefathers. Okay. The Gemara says a story. דמר רב יהודה ורב אונו בשם שמואל על הדובר הזה, קורא ישעיהו ואומר, הלילה הוקים. Yeshayahu the king, when he read this part of the Torah, he ripped his clothes because he says, this goes on who? On the leader, on the king. I need to establish a Torah like Beis Din. Beis Din leaders, Rosh Yeshivas, rabbis, head of houses, marriage, you married your wife, kids. You have a chiyuv to yokim. It's an obligation on leaders. Any leader, any srava, can be a father to his children, can be a Rosh Yeshiva, a Gabbai in a shul. He has to make sure he's responsible. He has to take care of the Klal Yisrael the Torah will establish. He has to make takonos. The Gemara says, unbelievable statement. Rabbi Acha b'shem Rabbi Tanchum bar Chiya lomad v'limed v'shomar v'osa. If somebody learned Torah, and he taught Torah, and he guarded the Torah, and he did all the mitzvahs, perfect Jew, right? He's still cursed. A perfect Jew. He learned, he taught, he guarded the Torah, and he did the Torah. However, he had the ability in his hand to put up, to hold the Torah, money-wise. Money-wise! He had the ability. Money-wise to hold the Torah. He had the ability to hold the Torah, to mekarev Jews, to influence people, to do things, to hold the Torah. And he didn't do, Arei ze bichlal oru. He's part of this curse. Pachat proti. Idorshu ba'akoma azois beis hamelech v'anesius. Who's obligated is the house of the king, the presidency house. Shebeyodom le'akim esat Torah ba'adar Hashem vatlim ois, so they have their hands to put up the Torah on those wicked people that cancel it. Va'afilo yu tzaddik gomer u'maiso, even though Yeshayahu could be a complete tzaddik in his actions. V'yochel HaZadik could hold the Torah Hashem to cause Hashem to do tshuva. Amevatlim ois. Okay, it's the same idea. So lemaise.
What is that afilu? What is afilu tzaddik? What is afilu?
What are you saying?
Why Ramban says afilu? Afilu tzaddik go.
By the way, here the Ramban brings down, and the first opinion is the Masechet Soifrim Perek Yudale, that you lift the Torah, and he says, "Shemitzah chol ha'anoshim ve'anoshim yuz haksav." There's a mitzvah for all the men and women to read the ksav, even though it says in the Mishnah somewhere else that women should not look on the ksav if they need her. So women here if they're not neither. That's why he says women should not come to a synagogue when they need it, because they cannot see the ksav, the writings, when they come to the synagogue when we lift the Torah. When he says v'lichroya v'lo, they should bend down and say. It doesn't say to bend down and put a finger. The Ramban doesn't say that. It says v'lichroya v'lo ima zos haTorah sh'osam Moshe b'nei Israel v'chen no yagim. The Ramban says. Okay, but anyhow, so according to this, I just want to say one more story, which I always say. But my father, bless his memory. My father, bless his memory, was a yeshiva bacher in America, in a yeshiva called Chofetz Chaim. And yeshiva Chofetz Chaim went into hardships of money. They had no money to support themselves. Talk about the 1950s, early 1950s. There was no money. A lot of Jews came to America then, but just starting to work, build themselves up. There was no donations in America, no big money. But there was an established community in Cuba. There were maybe 40, 50 years already there, they had money. So my father went with another guy to raise money in Cuba. In that exact time, Fidel Castro was a big war, and he turned over the country. It was in the middle. It was in the middle of the. He told me the whole story. He had to run away, hide. He came to that country. It's the whole story. But Lemaise, he asked the head of the congregation, the president, that he wants to speak in the big synagogue in Parshas Kitovoi. And he says he cannot, because that's the time that I get everybody to the synagogue for Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur, and if you fundraise now money, we'll take away from the fundraising for the congregation of the community. He says, no, there's money for everywhere. There's money for Torah, money for synagogue. He says, okay, I give you only 2 minutes to speak. Or he asked him, give me 2 minutes to speak. He said, okay. Right when they lift the Torah, there's a time when the rabbi speaks few words. So they let my father speak. And he said, he says, I have 2 minutes to speak. He says, curse is the one that doesn't establish the Torah. Bless is the one that establishes. What does it mean to establish? Even though you learn Torah and you teach Torah and you guard the Torah and you do the mitzvahs, but you have the ability, you have extra dollar in your pocket, and you have the ability to hold Torah and you don't, you're cursed. Give your money to the Chofetz Chaim Yeshiva. And he went down. 2 minutes, Joshua, right? The portion. You know what happened? They gave him money. Fundraised money. And they fixed, in the Forest Hill, the new building they had, they fixed a lot of rooms, one of their own stories. But one bad thing happened, not bad. One other thing he did, that's I heard many years later, somebody came over to him after my father's death, and he says, your father had a good heart all the time. My father saw a young guy in Cuba that he wasn't 100% together. So he had mercy on him. He took him to America to yeshiva and took care of him. He taught him Torah, but he was a little Michiganer, and he burned all Chofetz Chaim Yeshiva down. Burned it down. My father felt very bad. He was good-hearted, wanted to help this guy, but he burned down the yeshiva. You heard that, Reb Shlomo? You heard. Anyhow. So, my goal is a little bit to expand this. So what we did is we explained that Hashem says, come to Eretz Yisrael, you get 11 blessings, or you get 11 Chaz v'Shalom opposite, And the last one is the most important, except the Torah, that we said is a constant, etc., etc. You have to hold the Torah. But the major question is, if you look right after that, the Torah continues. If you listen to the Torah, the Torah gives us blessings, but it goes on and on and on. 98 curses. It looks like that the curses here and those 11 is equal. 11, the same one, 11 is blessings, 11 are curses. But if you look, continue on in the Torah, there's 98 curses. So many curses, and the blessings are much shorter. Why the curses are so much and the blessings are so short? Right? There's an explanation. And Adarabbe, Mida Toiva is Meruben Nezoronu, there should be 500 times more than 98 curses, should be 2,000, who knows how many thousands of blessings. The answer is very simple. Not very much I understand like this. People don't change. I'll give you an example. Somebody is overweight, and his wife tells him lose weight. His friends, she would feel better. So maybe he makes a diet, and he holds on to the diet a couple of weeks, a couple of months, a couple of years. He falls down, he does it again, falls down, does it again. Then he gains weight more than he started. That's a common thing in life. But when he gets to the age that he makes blood tests, and the doctor shows him, listen, hey buddy, you see, here your cholesterol's out of the line. You see, here it's high blood pressure. Here is sugar. Here is calcium is bad. Here is that. Start reading your reports. So then what happens? No problem, baby. He keeps the diet like a fish with a closed mouth in the water. He right away the diet, see that? He goes, why? Because the doctor told him two things. Listen, if you're not going to do that, you know what's going to happen to you? You're going to die. This sickness, sarcoidosis, bacillus, cancer, they can give you a whole list of scary things. And what happens? You buckle up very quickly. So people, the nature of people, that they don't move unless they get scared. Although Hashem wants us to serve Hashem from love, from Ava, what Hashem is looking for us? That we should serve Hashem from love or from fear?
Love.
From love. But the reality is, how many people are here in the Asper Yeshiva from love? How many people are you, right? How many people in the world should come to the Asper Yeshiva from love?
The question is how many people know what is love?
Okay, that's also true.
No one loves.
But when you talk about fear, a lot of people, a lot. Fear produces reality, produces. So definitely can't get a message from here that Hashem wants us to serve Hashem from fear. No, it's not the message. But without 98 curses, people won't move their body and do what Hashem does. So Hashem had to write all those curses and exact, and all like the Torah goes on and details, etc., and all the curses, etc. 98 curses. But doesn't mean that Midoro is Meruv Midoro. Midoro is much more. But when you want to hear Moshe Rabbeinu is giving rebuke in his last day of his life, and he wants to move the Jewish people, he wants us to act properly, to keep the Torah. So you can't talk putzi-mutzi to your children. You can't talk putzi-mutzi to your Talmidim. You have to zroik mora b'talmidim. When Rab Gamliel died, he gave a tzavo, he gave counsel to his son, not counsel. He gave a tzavo. What kind of counsel? Forgot the word. What was it, tzavo? He says, Nehag nesiuscha berama, rule your presidency and high with strength. Uzroi kemora batalmidim, throw bitterness into your students. Means be hard on them. If you talk nice, what happens? They don't listen. However, it's very important to know. I was once in Florida, and I went to fundraise money, and I gave a whole lecture. And after the lecture, this woman, which I know very many years, good friend of her husband and her, many, many years, they come to me, and you guys know them, the Salva family, they come to me in Sukkot. Anyhow, you know, with the rabbi. So they told me, listen, buddy, in Florida, people don't want to hear Musa. People want to hear about love, positive. That's what they hear. I said, you're right. But that's why all the rabbis didn't change nothing here. Everybody still go to the mixed beaches. Everybody's still doing wrong things. And love, and nothing's changing. There's a time you have to talk Musa. There's a time you have to talk about truth. Zork Mora Talmidi. Obviously, you have to show you love, otherwise the person cannot accept the rebuke. So Hashem starts with equal blessings and curses, and then he starts with a blessing, then goes back to curses, the order. But if you don't put yira, people don't move. You hear that, Rabbi Yosef? People don't move. Only love, it doesn't work.
It makes worse.
Depends when, but then I mean only love doesn't work. I don't know. But the point is, so it doesn't mean that because Hashem has more curses than blessing. Midot Toivas is Hashem's character. Midot Toivas merubal midas behonas. Hashem gives us Toivah more than curses, but only means in practicality and warning and moving emotion of people as a rhetoric way how to speak and how to change the Jewish people is you have to talk about fear more than love. But obviously what Hashem wants us to do, worship Hashem with love. With love. With love. That's what it is. I want to jump to a similar thing, which it took me many years to understand this. We see in leadership, there's two types of leadership. There's leadership of love, and there's leadership of fear. So when you have a leadership of fear, to bring people close to Hashem, it reduces the bringing close to Hashem. Because people don't want to hear rebuke. People run away from rebuke. There isn't enough of that. They don't want to hear from that. So they run away. And you have leadership of love. It brings more people in, right? So where's the balance?
You have Moshe and Aaron.
Oh, so the Gemara says like this. The Gemara says, Tinoik ve'isha, a woman and a little child. Yemin mekareves v'smol doicha. What does that mean? The right hand brings close, and the left hand pushes away. What does that mean? What's stronger, the right or left? Right. How much stronger the right hand against the left? I don't know, a couple more percentage. Majority stronger. So that's the blend. For a woman or a child, you have to mekarev, use the love as right strength, and the push away is left. But that's only a wife and a child. A tinoik. Tinoik, but what about a nar, a young boy? Shlomo HaMelech says, Yasreyu, lash him with words, with fear. And what happens? If you meyaser, if you strength, you work hard strength on your child, what happens? He will give you a good nachas in the end of your life. We spoke about it last week. We brought the pasuk, right? That if the Rebbe or the father beats up his child and the child dies, it's considered mitzvah. Even though he learns, do good, but still have to beat up your child. Physically, emotionally, not tinok, not a child, a little child. Think about a growing man, a growing boy. You have to be strong on it. So then what it turns, it's not right, love, light coming, bring close, and left right pushing away and left love. Right? That's we have to react when he's older. And this is really the balance here. Shtei yadayim. Shtei yadayim. The Gemara says, why? Because tinoik ve'isha, the Gemara says on that. Tinoik ve'isha.
So the opposite of
You're not to push with two hands. But what do you have to do? You have to have the pens. So depends. A talmid. I would say a student is the same thing. You have a student which is a baby, you have a student which is a nav, and you have a student grown. How? Depends how long you learn by the rabbi. A new student will come to the yeshiva, will be strong, and what will happen? I don't have a relation with him. He didn't invest yet in Torah, so what happens? What will happen? I'll be hard on him. I tell him, Musa, run away, right? But if he's not a child in the yeshiva, he's already grown up in the yeshiva, so he's already grown up. The Torah says I have to act him differently. I have to be more musar on him. And less love. Less mekarim, Moshe. And that's a job. And this is what we're turning back to the beginning. And if the rabbi is not acting, he's always the same thing to a new student, old student, or he's always hard, or always soft, he's part of the 11th thing. Lo yokim es ha-Torah azois. We're not established a Torah. Establish a Torah, we learned what does establish a Torah means. The leaders need to give rebuke and need to hold what is needed to put up together the Torah. It's in the hands of the leaders.
That's also a point.
What?
That's also a point. It's in the hands of the leaders.
Certain things. Not always. Certain things. Certain things are only in the hands of the leaders. Certain things in the hands of the friends. Your roommates, friends, yourself. There's a lot of different things, but I'm talking about as the leaders.
The Chiddush of Yeshayahu, he said, all I like.
Upon me is yes.
He said the words, all I like.
Right, he ripped his clothes.
But he did a mice.
Right.
See, he didn't say.
More than he ripped his clothes. Yes. So what's important to us is like this. We said yesterday that one of the blessings, Voitichu Hashem, Hashem will spare you with your fruits of your stomach. So normally means Hashem will give you fruits, a lot of fruits of your stomach. It means a lot of children. For fruits of the animal. But the Ibn Ezra learns, what does Hashem will spare you for the good with your fruit of your stomach is because of your fruit of your stomach, because your children or Talmid that you give them rebuke, that they need you to be chinuch, Hashem will spare you in Yom Adin, Yom Kippur, and Rosh Hashanah. So, what does that mean now? Going back home and start screaming at everyone? No, their children has to be Yamin Mekarev Esmol Doicha. If they're grown up or more older Talmidim, it's not. It's Yamin Doicha and Smol Mekareves. Depends. So there's rules. It's not everybody the same. Not everybody the same. But if you know you have to do your job, if you have the ability to give your roommate, your chavrusa, your friend depends on you and your kiruv, you have to do the right. Kiruv means it's like a baby, just love. But if you don't do the right one, it doesn't mean only love. Even a baby. It says, Yamin Mekareves, it's small doicha, but the left has to push off if they pull over. Your only right and left hands is kiruv. It says wrong. It's to be a balance. And the balance has to be in the beginning more love and less rebuke, and then as they come more rebuke and less love. It depends on you. And if you do it right, your Hashem will spare you. That's what the Chassam Sofer said, we spoke about yesterday. As we learned, Voisichu Hashem letoivo. The Ibn Ezra says, Hashem will spare you Madin because of the fruit of your children. Because if your children need your training, Hashem will spare you. That's what it means. Iten Hashem, that we'll do the right things, not only for ourselves and for others, and we're able to be dependent. The people depend on us, depends on our lifting them in their spirituality, and that will bring us Le'yom Adin very soon to be spared and to have Ksiva v'chasim v'toivot Shabbos. Rabbi Hanania ben Akashi Oimer.